Angel Reese boldly and competitively called out the Chicago Sky for how they would move forward in terms of needing talent if they were going to compete, saying that she wanted to be a part of the organization and she wanted to compete at a high level. It didn't go over so well, Jay, in the public eye domain, at least as far as Chicago brass was concerned, and she actually ended up being suspended for a half a game. There seemed to be sort of breadcrumbs that perhaps this organization was not prepared for her vocalness and her star power.
What? Excuse me? Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Monica McNutt, one of the premier pretend analysts at ESPN, second only to the lovely Mina Kimes when it comes to analyzing leagues that they've never played in. Monica McNutt expects me to believe that the Chicago Bravado traded Angel Reese because they were not ready for her star power. The Bravado traded the matriarch of Me Bounce because she was too famous? Are you starting to understand why I refer to Monica McNutt as a pretend analyst? And look, in her defense, she is not the only one today at the worldwide leader in woke who's trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star. David Dennis Jr., better known as David the Jr. Doofus. Apparently, he co-hosts a show on ESPN radio in Atlanta that family and friends listen to. I guess David Dennis Jr. isn't prominent enough at ESPN to host a national radio show, so ESPN has him hosting local radio in Atlanta. Listen to how he describes Angel Reese. Watch this for yourself.
Angel Reese, overnight, Atlanta has now the biggest star in basketball in the city that we've seen, in a while. Like, this is a huge deal for Atlanta. The Atlanta Dream, which are kind of going, they were turning the right direction. Getting Angel Reese out of Chicago Sky, which has been a disaster in the front office. Angel Reese being in Atlanta, come on, this is box office.
Oh my stars! Did you see this trade? Overnight, Atlanta now has the biggest star in basketball. Wowzer! This is amazing! I cannot believe ESPN pays for this type of analysis. Angel Reese is the biggest star in basketball? The same Angel Reese who just hosted a Barbie event in Miami last weekend where no one showed up. Angel Reese isn't even the biggest star in pretend basketball. She is getting outshined in a league where outside of Caitlin Clark, there are no stars. And you expect me to believe Angel Reese is the biggest star in basketball? What in the hell is going on here? I know ESPN pays these people to polish the turd, but no amount of toxic ass gas will hypnotize people to the point that they believe Angel Reese is the biggest star in basketball. Earlier this afternoon, the Chicago Bravado traded Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dreamers. Now, as you can see, the Dreamers are already dreaming that they landed a major star. The Dreamers gave the Bravado 2 first-round picks in exchange for Angel Reese. Now, I have seen some on social media pointing out the fact that the Lakers only had to trade 1 first-round pick to get Luka Doncic. But in the WNBA, draft picks aren't nearly as valuable as they are in the NBA, since, there's not a lot of generational talent. To me, though, this is not about what the Atlanta Dreamers had to give up in order to acquire Angel Reese. This is more about the message that the Chicago Bravado sent by trading Angel Reese. The media, they can polish the turd. ESPN can pretend that Angel Reese is a box office draw. But the Chicago Bravado just told you the same thing Uncle KC has been telling you for the last 2 years. Angel Reese is not a draw. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. So going to get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. My uncle called me back in November. He's a military veteran, served in the Gulf War in the early 90s, but as he's gotten older, been dealing with various health-related issues. Doctors had him on pain management, had him taking all this medicine just to get him to sleep at night, most of which wasn't working. Once the meds wore off, he was tossing and turning all night, plus he was building up a tolerance to it. My aunt bought him some CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading, wanted him to try it out just to see if it would work. My uncle applies the CBD lotion every night before he goes to bed. He is getting the best sleep that he has gotten in years. Doesn't even take the pain medication anymore because he doesn't need it. Over the holidays, one of my longtime viewers reached out to me telling me how the CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading alleviated his back pain. He had been dealing with back pain for years, couldn't find anything that would work for him. Bought a bottle of CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading. 20 or so minutes later, back pain was gone. I have got countless stories from viewers, friends, family. They all tell me the same thing. They cannot believe this stuff actually works. Hell, there's a reason Sugar Mountain Trading has been with me here on the channel for 18, 19 months now. My audience keeps buying their CBD because Sugar Mountain Trading is the real deal. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading, 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL25. BTL25. Receive 25% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. During her analysis of this trade, Monica McNutt pointed out something that I thought was interesting. She referenced the Chicago Bravado and their frustration with Angel Reese. The Bravado weren't ready for an outspoken star. They weren't ready for a star of this magnitude. Yeah, let me tell you something right now. Unless there are extenuating circumstances, and the circumstances have got to be major, teams do not trade superstar players because they're outspoken. Teams do not send away their cash cow because they're difficult to work with. Most superstar players are difficult to work with and they're outspoken. Kobe Bryant was described as an asshole. Kobe Bryant was tough to be around. Hell, Kobe was dealing with a sexual assault case in Colorado, and the Lakers still never traded him. Michael Jordan, he didn't get along with Jerry Reinsdorf or Jerry Krause. After his second season, when the two Jerrys wanted to tank for a draft pick instead of making the playoffs, Michael Jordan lost all respect for him, and for the next decade or so, he was an absolute pain in their ass. But they never traded him. Why? When you have a player of that caliber, when you have a once-in-a-lifetime or once-in-a-generation star, or even a regular superstar like Anthony Edwards or Jokic in Denver, you don't trade players of that caliber because you never know when you'll have the chance to find another one. You know who gets traded? Angel Reese. 5 years ago, the Chicago Bravado won the WNBA Finals. They made the playoffs in 2022 and 2023. 2024, they draft Angel Reese in the first round. Now you gotta remember, Angel Reese was not their first choice. The Bravado drafted Camila Cardoso with the number 3 pick in the draft, while Angel Reese was drafted 7th. Since the self-proclaimed Barbie arrived in Chicago, the Bravado have a combined record of 23-61. From 2013 through 2023, the Bravado made the playoffs 8 out of 11 seasons. Since they drafted Angel Reese, all of a sudden, the Bravado struggle to win games. And ESPN expects me to believe that the organization is the problem here? Either way, I don't think basketball had anything to do with why Angel Reese was traded. I think Angel Reese was traded because the Bravado thought that she was more trouble than she's worth. Again, this goes back to value. If the Chicago Bravado were losing, but they were selling out home games, season tickets were being sold, merchandise was being sold, Angel Reese would never be traded. But you can't be a problem and not sell tickets. Well, Uncle Casey, this isn't true. Ticket prices for the Atlanta Dreamers have already doubled. They went from $38 to $68. Angel Reese is hot, hot, hot. Luckily for Angel Reese, the Dreamers play their home games in a high school gym that only holds around 3,500 people. So for a supposed star of this magnitude, it should be absolutely no problem for Angel Reese to sell out games in Atlanta. But if she doesn't, there are no excuses. During her time in Chicago, there were a lot of games with empty seats. I promise you, if Angel Reese was selling tickets in Chicago, she wouldn't have been traded. This isn't the NFL. This isn't the NBA where teams are going to sell out regardless. Last year during the WNBA finals, the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces, they were struggling to sell out home games and tickets were selling for less than $40. More than likely, this is Angel Reese's last opportunity to develop or become a mainstream draw for the WNBA. When the story broke earlier this afternoon, this trade was major news. I'm sure her debut in Atlanta will be sold out. But the question is, can Angel Reese maintain this momentum? Can she maintain this level of interest? There is a huge difference between making news on social media with a major assist from your pretend friends in the mainstream media and convincing people to spend their money 20, 25 times a year to watch you play basketball. I have my doubts that Angel Reese can make this work in Atlanta. Think about it. During her time at LSU, she struggled to sell tickets. I remember last year, or maybe it was the year before, the WNBA held a preseason game at LSU, or it was some type of Angel Reese homecoming. No one showed up. 2 years in Chicago, Angel Reese could not sell tickets. 2 years with Unrivaled, where Angel Reese was the only star in that league. She failed to draw ratings on television, and now she gets traded to Atlanta, and I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden, Angel Reese will be the biggest star in the WNBA? Maybe Angel Reese will prove me wrong, but more than likely, this is going to end in huge embarrassing failure. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.